My name's Sarah. I am one half of Two Pearls in a Pod, which is a podcast that I make with my friend Paige. But I'm doing a bit of a side quest today because Paige, poor thing, is working all weekend. So I was going to take this opportunity to talk about a project that I am thinking about since the last time we filmed together. I talked about the fact that I have some socks that I've made for my brother, and I'm struggling to find sock blockers big enough to be able to block the socks appropriately for him. He has size US 10.5 feet, and I don't know, maybe there's just not that much demand in Australia for sock blockers, but I can't find anything that's going to be appropriate for him. And so I thought, I'll just make something. I'll just make my own sock blockers. So that's what we're doing today. I suppose this is just like the crafter's curse, that you kind of look at something, like a picture of something online, and you're like, I could make that, I could try. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and make some sock blockers. If it works, great, because then I've kind of got the opportunity to make as many as I like at a far lesser cost. So these are the socks. They are the I'm So Basic socks by Summer Lee, just a really great vanilla sock pattern. The two yarns that I've used in it are Hodgepodge Skeins Rusty Tractor nylon sock yarn for the main, and the contrast is a non-nylon sock yarn called Purist by Ren and Ollie in the colour Cinnamon. So they're looking good. I just steam blocked them flat so I could kind of show them off a little bit better in our video the other day with Paige, but kind of I still want to try making sock blockers. So nothing ventured, nothing gained. I went to my local hardware store and I bought wire. This is 2mm diameter galvanized tie wire, which I just got from the gardening section. I think the trade-off with this project, materials-wise, is flexibility and ability to manipulate the wire versus rigidity and structure and providing enough structure to block the sock effectively. So I wanted something that wasn't too thin so that it could provide structure, but it wasn't too thick that I wouldn't be able to bend it into the sock shape that I wanted. Maybe this is right, maybe it's not, but only one way to find out. I'm going to try bending this into a sock blocker shape. I think the wire ones are quite good in that you get a lot of airflow through them. They've got a hook on the top so you can hang them up. I mean, I guess they all do actually. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's go see if this works. Also, just quickly, I should mention that I'm wearing my Cargill, which I absolutely love. I'm obsessed with it. I wear it all the time and I love it. For this project, the things I used were the cutting mat as a hardy surface, my 2mm diameter wire to actually make the sock blockers. I have some paper which I used to trace a pattern to create the shape that I wanted to follow. My current sock blocker as a sample to trace around, some masking tape, paper scissors and a pen, some round nose or sort of needle nose pliers, some wire cutting snips, a ruler and a cup of tea. Okay, I have my pattern piece. I have just traced out my sock blocker I use for myself onto paper and added 3 centimetres of length in the middle of the foot to create the length I need to go from my size foot to one that's going to be close to my brother's, which is, so yeah, this sort of heel to toe now is 27 centimetres, which is about the same as the sock. I haven't added anything diameter wise, but I did add extra stitches for him than I would knit for myself. So maybe I'll just kind of err slightly more out. But yeah, I don't know if this is going to be useful, but I thought just so I have kind of a rough guide of a shape to go around, this would be good. I probably actually didn't need to cut it out. Never mind. But let's start shaping with some wire. I've got a pair of like needle nose, round nose pliers, which hopefully will help. I'm sorry I don't have a better setup to like do a proper bird's eye view of what I'm doing, because that would probably be most useful, but I'm just not legit enough, and we're gonna make do. So I also need to decide how long I want this now. So just gonna stretch a bit out. Oh God, I think you'd want to be wearing some sort of protective eyewear for this. I guess I kind of want to do it like a coat hanger at the start, so maybe I'll just try and create a loop that eventually I'll tuck around the hook. Sure. So the first thing I'm going to do is like I'm probably going to start in this middle point here and then do a right angle and then down, and then at some point I'll have to work out how long I want the leg to be before I start turning for that heel bit. Oh my God, okay. So if I just go like this. Okay. So here's my little top bit, but you'll see that it is huge. I don't know if you can see what's going to be best. Yeah, it's basically as big as my entire torso, and I think the issue is that this wire is not rigid enough to keep its shape here, and this is the point where I need it to be a bit shallower. So I'm going to try and like lock this off so it doesn't keep slipping out, and then I might try and see how much I can manipulate this and get it to hold. Better. It's now, that wasn't an issue actually. I think like putting a little bit more bend in this top bit actually helps bring it in fine. The issue I'm kind of also how now having is like, it's really like, it's not flat. I don't know if that's like if that is a genuine issue for like blocking the socks. Probably not. It would just be nice, you know? I want this to be, I'm no way expecting this to be like an actual sock blocker, but it would be nice if it wasn't so homemade, let's say. I think that is because it was in a coil, but I actually don't mind it. I think overall it worked out as good as it was going to work. So, do I try and make a second one, or do I just try one by itself to start with? Don't know. That's a problem for later. Oh my God, guys. So I just thought I would see how it worked and tried to put the sock on the sock blocker, and it looks good. I don't know if it's kind of cheating that I'm molding the sock blocker within the sock to make it like stretch out a little bit, but it kind of worked. It's kind of hard to tell because I've already steam blocked these, so they kind of look pretty nice already. I kind of wish I had like left them all scrunched up and unblocked to really appreciate the before and after on these. But on the whole, it fits really, like it sits around the blocker really nicely, but I can kind of manipulate the blocker as well if I wanted to stretch it out a little bit more. I don't want to make them too big for him because like you want a snug sock, but I mean, just even as like a decoration, as a way to like hang socks, I don't mind it. I think I'm going to try and make two because I prefer to block my socks together rather than one at a time. So I'm going to make two. So the only thing harder than making one is to make a second one to match. But that wasn't too bad. So let's do it again. And after all that carnage, this is what we are left with. I think it was definitely a case of beginner's luck on the first one, in that the first one I like the shape of quite a bit better than the second. So yeah, look, take what you get. I think it was always going to be asking a lot to try and make two that were the exact same. But I mean, hopefully they're similar enough, and we'll see how it goes.
The next day.
Okay, so socks are dry. I thought I would show you the finished product. Ta-da! Here are my handmade sock blockers. Overall, I think I'd class this project a success. It's doing what it needs to do in terms of providing structure to the socks. It means that they've blocked out really nicely. So yeah, they're not perfect. They were never going to be. That's not my intent. But they kind of overall, I think it's sort of done what it needs to do, and I'm really happy with them. Hopefully this inspires someone, or hopefully you found this entertaining. Informative is probably a stretch, but hopefully it's something that inspires people perhaps to make sock blockers or try something a little bit different, or get a little bit creative with how we do our craft. But can recommend, and if anyone has any tips or suggestions about making sock blockers or using wire or just blocking socks or anything, please let me know. I'm always really appreciative of everyone's input, because I've learned a lot since I started making these videos. So thank you everyone for your input. And if you do have a go at making sock blockers yourself, let me know, because I always love seeing things like that. And I'll see you in the next one, where I catch up with Paige again probably. So yeah, thanks, bye. I feel like that lady in the TikTok who emulates guys on dating profiles holding photos of their prized fish that they've caught.
Does what she wants, and she looks cool doing it.